Hi, welcome. Nadia here. Welcome to the second video for this Yoga for Runners series. Last time we worked on the knee to toes, and today we're going to work on mobility through the hips and actually activating our core and making sure we've got a nice strong core. One thing I have learned from even training myself for this running is that engaging the core is really important, and it helps support the rest of the body, connecting that torso and the legs together. So we're going to look at that. Some of it might flow, and we really want to think about that engagement. So let's get onto our backs to start off with. So lying on your back, I'm going to get you to bend the knees, bring the heels in close to the buttocks. I want you to feel the imprintment of the back onto the floor. Now I want you to start breathing in and out through the nose. Just feeling that breath coming through, taking just a few moments here just to scan and see how the body's feeling today. Just being aware of any stickiness or anything that might be gripping or an injury. And a few more breaths to just let the body settle. One more big breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Now, with the breath, I want you to start engaging what we call our bandhas or locks. So as you inhale, you're going to gently draw up the pelvic floor muscle. If you don't know what that is, you can either think about like a Kegel exercise, or if you're midstream and stopping it. And it's just a gentle drawing up, and you want to engage that with the in-breath. And as we exhale, draw in the lower abdominal towards the back of the spine. So that's just below the belly button. Feeling that engagement, and that comes on to the exhale. So just starting to feel that connection of the two. Inhale, drawing up, exhale, drawing in. Now the next thing we're going to take is the hands to the hips, still connecting the breath and the bandhas. We're going to start tilting the pelvis. So we're not lifting the hips, we're just tilting it. So this is anterior tilt. So then you see how there's a bit of space here in my lower back, and it feels like a little bit of bridge. And then exhale, we're in a posterior tilt, so tucking the tailbone towards the back of the knees. See how like my back is engaged into the floor. So just doing that a few rounds just to feel that movement of the pelvis, again, creating that mobility. Inhale, anterior tilt, drawing up the pelvic floor. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, posterior tilt, draw the belly in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, strengthen. So let's do a few rounds here. Get that feeling. Now, for this first part, I want you to bring the pelvis into a posterior tilt. So that means engaging, imprinting your lower back into the floor. Another thing when we do this work here, we want to bring the ribs in. So don't let the ribs flare out. When they flare out, that gives that whole belling, and it's really hard to engage the core. So draw the ribs in, come into a posterior tilt. Good. Now feel that engagement into the floor here. Now on your inhale, lift the right foot off the floor. On your next inhale, lift the left foot off the floor. Feel that engagement. Make sure the knees are just over the hips, pulling the ribs in, drawing the belly in, feeling that imprintment from the back of the crown of the head all the way to the sacrum, to the hips, into the floor. Now we're going to extend the left leg on the floor. We're going to bring the right knee in, hugging the knee. Now the left leg, we want to dorsiflex. Dorsiflex is extending through the heel, bring the toes in towards the shins. You want to draw up the kneecap so you have an engaging of the leg, because this is your foundation here. Now a lot of the times as we extend through the hip, we tend to pull the head of the femur bone out of the hip socket. You want to push it back in. Hug the knee, keep hugging the right knee. Now you feel that stability there. Now we're going to lengthen the right leg straight up. So from here, you can either have the hands onto like the belly, into the chest here, or onto the hips. We want to use the stability from the hips. You don't want to be rocking from side to side. We want to isolate the movement through the hip socket. And I want you to start to create some small circular motions going in one direction. And just feel that small circular motion. As when we run, when we hike, cycle, any of that, we've got this movement of going back and forth. We don't move the hip in a circular motion, which it can do. Do doing a bit of that 360 movement. And we want to keep that stability of the back into the floor, so imprinting, keeping the ribs drawn in. And now switch to the other way, small little circle, nothing big. And just feeling that work through the core. Feeling how we're working that hip, getting the mobility, working with the strength. We also need strength. 2 more rounds. Good, now bring the knee in, hug it. And we're going to switch, so extend the right leg on the floor, bring the left knee in. Now, extending the right heel, dorsiflexing. Bring the toes in towards the shins, pushing the head of the femur bone back in. So it brings that stability, brings in the hips so they can create that strength and support and extend through the heel, drawing up the kneecap. So that's nice and strong. We want that anchored. We want that, give us that stability. And then from there, when you feel nice and strong, extending the left leg up, pointing the toe. Keep drawing the ribs in, keeping the belly nice and strong, engaged, drawing the lower abdominal in. And either hands onto the hips. I like the hands onto the hips for this. And start your circular motion. Just a small one. We're not doing big ones today. Just a little one, just to feel that movement of the hip in this form, in this movement. And feel how to engage the core to help support that movement. You might feel a bit of clicking. If it's uncomfortable, make a smaller circular motion. Now, remember, if the hamstring is tight, you can bend the knee and still create that movement. That works just great. Now switch the other direction and breathe. Still breathing in and out through the nose. And 1, 2, bring the knee in, hug it. Bring both knees in. Let's release a bit of that front hip flexors. Now, I want you to, again, think about, rather than yanking the head up to lift it up, I want you to engage the core. So think about pulling really the front ribs down towards the pelvis, but also down and towards the floor to help lift the head up. So coming and hugging the knees, making that round circular motion here in the back. Nice little bow, using the core to lift the head up. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Now cross the right shin over the left, roll forward, and come up. Press the palms into the floor. We're going to step back, what we call into downward facing dog. Feet are hip width apart, hands are shoulder width apart. So on my mat here, I've got some body lines, so it helps to create that foundation for where my hands and feet need to be placed. Helps here. So you want to draw the triceps inwards, push the fleshy mound between the thumb and the wrist. And I want you to bend the knees so then we can help lift up the hips. Rolling the front of the thighs to the back of the thighs, breathing. Let the head be heavy and looking between the knees. I'm going to hold here. 5. 4 breaths. 3. 2. 1. Now raise the heels up high so you're on the ball of the feet. Keep the knees back. Push the chest towards the legs. Look forward. Now just step or walk the feet up. I want you to have, so the feet are hip width apart to start off with. You might require some blocks here because what we don't want to do is try to tuck the tailbone down, hunching and rounding the back here. We actually want to create lift and lengthen. So using the blocks, having them up nice and high, maybe onto your fingertips, If palms is a bit still restricting, give yourself a bit of that room. Roll the front of the thighs to the back of the thighs. And as we're here, we're going to paddle the feet. And I really want you to bend the right knee as much as you can. Feel that opening here. Try not to be heavy onto the heels. We want to lean forward. So not blocks too close. We want to think about wrist and shoulders in line to start off with here. And then we're going to switch, bending the left knee, right leg straight. Really getting into that ball of the top of the hamstring and into that bottom of the glute where that connection is. And switch. We'll do one more on each side. Hold, breathe. Keep drawing the ribs in. Keep pulling, drawing in the lower abdominal. Just everything pulling up as we lift the chest forward. And switch to the other side, last side. And for those, and just being aware, blocks come in the 3 different heights here. So work with your body as long as we're lifting, we're not hunching. We're doing that C curve through the spine and then legs straight. Now, from here, we're going to cross the left foot behind the right foot. So that means that the foot is on the outside, the left foot is on the outside of the right foot. Now, the back leg is the left leg, so we want that, keep that straight, and I want you to bend the right knee. I'm just going to not use the blocks myself personally, but keep using them. I want to keep the back flat. Bring the chin in towards the chest. Breathe. Keeping that right knee bent. I'm going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now walk the hands to your right. Keep pushing the hips back, bending the right knee, engaging that left quadricep, and lifting the chest up high. So you can walk the blocks over and using the blocks. We want to keep the length in the spine so we can get that beautiful stretch. You'll feel it in a little bit of that outside of that left hip. You'll obviously feel it in that left hamstring. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now walk back through to the center. Uncross the left leg from behind. And we're going to switch to the other side. Create that balance. Cross the right foot behind the left. This time the right leg is straight. Left knee is bent. Keep the lift in the chest. Slightly tuck the chin in. Don't jut the chin out. Breathe into it. Feel that beautiful opening in the back of the legs, into the hips. And you might become aware that it feels a bit different from each side, and that's okay. Holding here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now walk the hands to the left this time. Keep the length in the spine. Keep lifting the chest, shoulders down. Keep that left knee bent, back leg straight. Breathing into that right side of the body. Breathing into that. For some of you, it might be a very subtle opening on that that right side of the hip. You might feel a little bit more intense. Just breathe into it, holding for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On your next inhale, walk back through, uncross, maybe shake them out, paddle them out. Good. Now let's inhale, come into a halfway lift. You might take the fingertips to the shins. You might be able to reach without rounding the back to the floor. Exhale, fold. We're going to step 1 foot back at a time, coming into a plank and then drop the knees to the floor. So here we're going to create some movement through the hips. And through this movement, we want to really make sure we're contained in the torso. So really bringing that pulling in of the ribs, bringing that engagement of the lower abdominal, drawing it in, and pushing what we call protraction of the shoulders. So a lot of the times we tend to let everything sink and bellow down towards the floor. We actually want to do a bit opposite. We want to push up towards the ceiling. So you want to protract the shoulders. So that's what that is pushing up towards the ceiling, drawing the ribs in, drawing the belly in. So you're going to have two options here. I will have an option in the corner there of the video of modified into tabletop. But I'm going to do it in downward facing dog. So curl the toes under, push the hips back and up, keep the feet hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart, drawing the triceps in, lifting and lengthening. Now shift the weight into the right foot, raise the left leg, you can extend it up, and then we're actually going to bring the knee into the chest. You're going to keep the knee bent. We're going to take it out to the side, and then keep it bent as you take it back and over, heel over to the other side, the opposite buttocks behind you, and then bring it back into the chest. So that's one. Take it out to the side, back and over. That's two. Out to the side, back and over. That's three. Last round. Out to the side, and then back and over and into the chest. Now stay here because we're going to reverse it. Now take it. Keep the knee bent, back and over. Take it out to the side and back into the chest. Back and over. Out to the side, into the chest. Back and over. Out to the side, into the chest, back and over, out to the side, into the chest. Hold there, then release. We're going to go right into the other side. So just bring that right knee into the chest. We're going to take it out to the side, take it behind you, back and over, into the chest. Keep working through the core, into the chest, out to the side, back and over, into the chest, out to the side, back and over, into the chest. Last round, out to the side, back and over, into the chest. Reverse it now, back and over, out to the side, into the chest, back and over, out to the side, into the chest, back and over, out to the side, into the chest. Release the foot down, release the knees down. Release the arms, come in a nice little rounded child's pose, forehead to the floor, arms along the side of the body. Maybe while you're there, you can wiggle the fingers, get movement in the wrists, just in case you've got a bit of sore, tight wrists. Take two more big breaths here. And then we're going to come up. We're going to do one more. That movement of the hips again, creating that mobility. Same thing here because we're on our hands and knees this time. Or you might have been doing that previous one on your hands and knees, and that's totally fine. You'll be back in there. You want to roll the triceps in so the eyes of the elbows are facing forward. And we want to protract the shoulders, draw in the lower abdominal and the ribs. And then from here, we're going to shift the weight into the left shin. We're going to extend that right leg back. So we're not thinking about lifting up high. We're just extending it behind you. And then you're going to take it out to the side. And then as you transition to keep the leg behind you, point the toe, and you're going to tap it onto the outside left of the mat, looking over the left shoulder. And then come back through, dorsiflex the foot. And then out to the side. And then transition through, point the toe, tap the top of the foot, and look over the left shoulder. And then behind you, out to the side, transitioning through, tapping the top of the foot, look over the left shoulder, last one. Extend back, dorsiflex the foot, out to the side. And then transition through. This time, creep the toes curled under, and extend the right arm across to the left side of the mat. And breathe. Look over that left shoulder. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back through. Extend the right leg. Release the shin to the floor. Readjust. You might be feeling like you're swaying the back. Roll those triceps in, protract the shoulders, draw the belly in. Shift the weight into the right shin. Extend the left leg behind you, dorsiflex the foot. Keep everything pulled in. Take the leg out to the side. Transition through, point the toe, tap the top of the foot, look over the right shoulder. And extend back, out to the side. Transition through, tap the foot, look over the right shoulder. 2 more, extend back, out to the side. And then transition through, 1 more. Behind you, extending, out to the side. Transitioning through, this time keep the toes curled under. Extend through the heel, left hand to the outside corner of the right mat, side of the mat. Look over the right shoulder, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the left hand back, extend the leg back, release the shin. Push the hips back, come into child's pose, releasing. Taking a few big breaths here. Inhale, come up. And that's our core and hip mobility for today. So if you don't have any blocks, just keep in mind you can use water bottles, filled up water bottles, having one on each side. You know, when you get the liter ones, those are quite big. That gives you a bit of height. You can use a chair, whatever you can use that is around the house if you don't have blocks. I will have the blocks and the mat up for sale on my website in about a month's time. Otherwise, enjoy your run, enjoy the mobility and core work, and I'll see you next time on the next video. Namaste.